Justin.
And Monty.
Today we're taking a look at the Jericho Hill by Crown Heads. From Crown Heads we also smoked that Headley Grange. At least from what I know about Crown Heads, they're kind of a new cigar company, and they don't have too much out yet, but I've only had one cigar and I liked it, so I have a lot of high hopes for this Jericho Hill. It's a really nice looking cigar. It kind of has that rough sandpaper feel to it. It's not a very smooth wrapper, but it looks beautifully constructed. Seams are visible, but very, very tight. You know, nothing there, but other than that, kind of a light box press, pretty firm pack, kind of uneven, but pretty firm pack. Of course, Maduro. On the aromas, not much there on the wrapper for me. Maybe just like a general tobacco, but on the foot, man, there's a really nice like Hershey's chocolate. Maybe a little bit of a kind of a musky earth. Not much other than that, but just looks really good. I'm looking forward to smoking.
Yeah, it's a beautiful cigar, kind of a soft box press for me. It definitely has like a fine sandpaper feel to it. The seams are all visible, but they're done well, very tight. Not a lot of veins, a little lumpy, nice firm pack. Overall, beautiful looking cigar. The aroma off the wrapper to me, though, is quintessential barnyard. And to me, it's very reminiscent of walking through cattle barn. And everyone will tell you, it's, oh shit, that smells, it's just, yeah, there's a lot of shit with that smell, but there's the muskiness, the dirt, the dust, everything about it. I mean, that is exactly what this cigar smells like, and to me, it's a wonderful smell. The foot, I mean, I definitely agree that there's some earthiness to it, but it's almost got like a fresh floral note to me. Overall, wonderful cigar.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this cigar, but I've been sitting here looking at it for 2 or 3 minutes, and I almost get the impression that, and correct me if I'm wrong, but they almost made this cigar to look rough, to look abnormal.
Rustic.
Like yeah, very rustic, you know. Not bad, just rustic. Like, the seams are really tight on this cigar, but they're very visible. The band, to me, looks like it was intentionally put on cockeyed and crooked. And the foot of the cigar is cut on an angle. It's an angle you're not going to be able to see on the camera, but you can absolutely see it on the end of my cigar. It's cut on an angle from, you know, left to right, if you will. But other than that, it's just the things that stick out to me. But other than that, you know, it does have that really nice, fine sandpaper feel to it, which I think is really cool. Probably doesn't really make any difference on how it smokes, but it just feels neat when you're holding it here. And I believe 100% that Justin is absolutely correct. That this is the quintessential aromas of a barnyard on the wrapper of the cigar. There's that muskiness, there's that little bit of dustiness, there's almost a heaviness to the air. You know, when you walk through a cattle barn, there's a dryness, but there's also a little inherent humidity from things, and it's all there. That is a very typical barnyard smell that we talk about, that aroma. Not offensive in any way, but if you're raised around it, you know what we're talking about. Off the foot is where I'm completely different from what these guys said, and I get 2 things big time. I get cinnamon, and not this hot spicy cinnamon, but like cinnamon you would bake a pie with, and tons of floral notes. The best way I can put it is it's like walking into your local florist. You know, just those overwhelming floral notes. That's what I get off of it. So, I mean, with all that combined, I think this has a lot of potential.
Let's get it cut up, lit up, see how it goes.
It's a little bit of a tight draw for me.
Yeah. A little firm.
Very nice, very smooth for me.
There's a nice little bit of pepper there on the finish.
Really?
Yeah. For me.
I don't need pepper.
For me, it's very,
Very rich.
yeah, very rich, slightly creamy.
Almost like there's a dark, dense earth to it to me.
Yeah. Would agree with that. Very earthy.
Nothing harsh about it though, really nice. I'm not getting any pepper really at all.
Very smooth, yeah. It does. The smoke's very thick.
There's a lot of pepper in the retro ale for me. Like black pepper you put on a salad almost. I guess the retro ale is kind of where the power comes from. This first few puffs. It's a nice start.
Yeah, definitely.
It's very nice. Well, let's get in the first third. See if we can change it. See how it develops.
Well, we're about 10 minutes in to this Jericho Hill. Still a pretty tight draw. It's opened up a little bit, but really razor sharp burn. I'm impressed with the construction of this cigar. I hope the draw does open up a little bit, but I'm not really counting on it. The flavors are really good. There's a nice kind of chocolatey undertone, but overall it's just really musky and earthy. I guess I'd call that kind of a barnyard sort of thing. I don't know. The pepper is still really there for me, especially in the retro hill. So far so good. I mean, construction, taste, everything has been great so far.
I agree. My burn hasn't been really great, but it's starting to correct itself and actually perform exceptionally well. My draw's a little firm, but it is manageable. And it's not that big a deal for me right now. But with Wyatt, I agree. I hope it opens up as we go through the cigar. It's around I would say medium to full for me. It's a lot of flavor. It's not so much in strength though. I'd say about a medium strength. The flavors for me, yeah, it's a deep, dark, dense earth. It's got a musky aroma to it. The overall dimension and profile for the cigar is just very earthy. I did get a little bit of that pepper that Wyatt talked about, but it would come with one puff. The next puff it wouldn't be there, so it's a little fleeting. But overall, exceptionally good cigar. I'm really enjoying it. But let's see how it goes.
Yeah, overall I agree. My burn's been really nice. It's a nice, firm white ash. I've gotten no pepper whatsoever that the guys mentioned about. Not a bit. Not a bit of spice. Not really anything. And Justin nailed it. It's very earthy. Mine is a little bit of cedar. It's noticeable. It's not real prominent, but it's noticeable. But the best part of this cigar is, for me, this is an incredibly smooth cigar. There's not a thing about it so far that's harsh at all. It's been really nice. I'm the same. Mine is a little bit of a tight draw, but I don't care as long as it stays doing like this.
Well, let's get into the second third. Approach the midpoint. See how it develops.
We're about halfway through. There's been quite a bit of really subtle changes that have just built up for this cigar. That earthiness for me is pretty much gone. And what's been replaced is this really salty. We talk a lot about like the savory note, but to me it's
Like mozzarella cheese.
well, we just did eat mozzarella cheese. Maybe that brought out the saltiness, but it is. We just ate mozzarella cheese. That's a weird thing to explain, but anyway, it got really sweet and salty for me, but really the sweetness is, the only way I can describe it is like an almond, and that's not exactly correct, but yeah, I mean it tastes like your palate kind of goes clean really fast, but that's not it. It's just, kind of that very sweet, light sort of flavor. Even though the cigar itself is heavy, I mean, I don't know. It's very complex, and we're smoking this at the end of the day, and it really keeps your attention, gives you something to focus on. So I think it's really good. As you might be able to see, construction is excellent. I mean, I've got about an inch of ash on this thing, and it hasn't fallen off. It's not flaking off. It's really good. And also, I punched the cap a little bit, and it seems like the cap is just rolled really tight, but the rest of the cigar isn't. That opened the drawer right up, so no complaints so far.
I agree. It's a wonderful stick. To me, it's still very earthy. That earthiness has not died out. It's playing just par for the course for me in that sense. It's still there. It's still very much in your face. I agree. There's a subtle sweetness building, and I didn't. I can agree. Maybe like a sweet nut of some sort, like an almond or a honey roasted almond or something. I don't know if that's good. If that's the best way to describe it, but there is a subtle sweetness, and I can't really put my finger on the exact type of sweetness, but it's very, very good. Still very earthy, very medium to full bodied, and those flavors are definitely in your face. Strength, not very potent, maybe a medium. This is one of those cigars, all flavor, very little strength, and I really enjoy it. Burn has been excellent. Came out in 2 really big chunks for me, really nice. Draw has opened up a little bit. I too had poked it with the little Zycar scissors. I just can't say anything bad about the cigar. Exceptionally smooth, exceptionally thick smoke, very nice.
I concur on all. It's super, super smooth, which I really like. Regardless of how full-bodied and full-flavored it is, if it's smooth, then I'm all for it. It's definitely very much earthy for me still. The finish has gotten longer for me, and it's very woodsy. It's very cedar, almost that strong. I hate to say, we don't go around eating oak wood chips, but a really strong oak aroma. You almost can taste it.
Then some mozzarella cheese. That's it.
Some oak chips and some mozzarella cheese. You're set.
Yeah.
Maybe some Dunkin' iced coffee while you're at it. But that just a really woodsy, cedary finish for me, a long finish, and I really like it. My construction's been great. I did the same thing the other guys did. We did use a little Zycar scissors to poke a few holes, open it up a little bit, which has made it even better. But the burn's been fantastic. When you can knock the ash off and it makes a thud in the ashtray, that's what you're looking for, I think. So far, outstanding. I really like it.
Well, let's get into the final third, approach the midpoint. See if we get any changes.
Well, we're at the final third, literally for me at the nub point of this Jericho Hill by Crown Heads. This was an excellent end of my day type of stick. Very complex. First third had a lot of that spice, rich tobacco, a lot of earth. Then that earth went out, had that almond kind of sweetness. And then now the flavor in this last third, again, I'm like literally at the nub point, and it's still holding together, and the flavors are still really good. They're not too hot or anything. I'm getting like a burned wood. I guess that cedar that Monty was mentioning finally came into play for me. It's like a burned cedar. And it's really, really nice. Like I said, end of the day, just a good, dark, complex type of stick that isn't too heavy. I'd rate it about maybe more on the fuller side of medium. It's not going to knock you out, but it is definitely an end of your day type of cigar. Definitely something you want to have time set aside for. Cigar warrants your attention. It deserves it. Not some for the golf course, too heavy for the morning. This might be like a good afternoon cigar if on a Saturday or something when you got nothing better to do but smoke a cigar. But really good with a cup of coffee. You could probably pair this with just about anything. But on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this one a solid 9. Really makes me want to try more stuff from Crown Heads. Like I said, we had that Headley Grange, and I don't think you really cared for it, but I like that one. And these are the 2 at least that I've smoked, and it makes me want to look more into their line. This is a very, very good cigar. If you see it, definitely pick it up. It's worth your time.
Yeah, it's an excellent cigar. We got a comment from one of our viewers asking what does earthiness taste like? And I kind of replied, it's more of a sensation. It's taste, it's smell, it's the aroma of the cigar. It's just an overall sensation to the cigar. And to really get that taste to earthiness, I think this is the cigar to smoke. Because from start to finish, it was that dark, dense earthiness to it. Everything about this cigar was very organic, very earthy. Smell, the taste, everything is very rich. The cigar smoke is thick, it's creamy. And I really, really enjoyed it. First started out very earthy, and I got a little spice that Wyatt mentioned, and it died completely off, and I picked up a nice little subtle sweetness, and that's still there. But I agree 100% with Monty, is that cedar has ramped up for me, and it's just like an earth and wood, and wonderful cigar. It's got some complexity to it. The strength's built up a little bit in this final third for me. I got a little lightheaded, but it still packs a lot of flavor, and I love cigars with more flavor. The strength, and this is that cigar. I'm gonna rate it a little higher. I'm gonna give it a 9.5. I really enjoyed it. I think it's an end of your day smoke. I don't think any other time this really warrants this cigar. It's like the end of the day of just mellowing out, relaxing, and letting your troubles drift away. This is a perfect cigar for that. I really enjoyed it.
What they said. But yeah, I completely agree with both the guys. Real quickly, what Justin just said, this is an absolute end of the day smoke. Don't shortchange the cigar by trying to smoke it any other time when you're doing any other thing than just sitting here either by yourself or with the guys. When you can really enjoy this cigar and really enjoy how well it was made and the good tobaccos it was rolled out of. You would just be shortchanging the experience in the cigar itself if you did it any other time, any other way. I really believe that. Anyway, the burn's been excellent the whole time. The construction on this cigar was great, which is kind of funny because I made a few comments before we even lit this thing that it almost looked like it was made and rolled and finished to look rustic. But there's nothing rustic about this cigar. It's a super smooth, super earthy cigar with lots of long finish, with very woodsy long finish, a lot of cedar to it. I agree that it has gotten a little bit stronger, a little bit more fully bodied towards the end here, but that's fine. I don't care. But I definitely think this is a super good cigar, and I would never turn one down. It's been really good. As to what I would rate it, that's a little bit tougher for me, but I'm gonna have to go 9.5. I don't think a 9 really justifies it because I don't have anything bad at all to say about the cigar. You know, if you really, really want to try to pick at it, you can say the draw was a little tight initially, but that's just nitpicking. So 9.5.
Well, in conclusion, if you like our videos, please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. We greatly appreciate it. Until next time, smoke a moving out.